Okay, if you sell a product that touches manufacturing in any way and you do not understand this, then you stand to lose big time. All right, we're talking about the changing world order and the changes that are coming on the global economic scale, right? So we're going to talk about exactly why it is and exactly what to do about it if this is what your business is in. All right, so you might, if you're in FBA, like an Amazon shipper, drop shipping in any way, and you have production that's overseas and you don't own that production, then that's what is at risk, okay? In the last 2 decades, there was a really successful business model that was built on the backs of white label, someone in the United States creating a company that really was just a label, people who spoke good English, knew marketing, and they contacted the manufacturers in China and in other places and said, you guys make it, we'll figure out how to sell it, right? And that's the whole FBA model. And that's, and it's not just Amazon shipping, like this existed in many different ways. This is one of them, okay? By the way, this is a supplement that I take. I think it's fantastic. This is not a supplement video or advertisement in any way. I'm just explaining how this touches my daily life and how it probably touches yours. So this brand is NutriChamps, right? You can hop on Amazon, you can find it. The reason I like this is because it has the unique mix of super greens that I like, and it's hard to find. If you were to hop on Alibaba, we've talked about this before, Alibaba is like a marketplace for manufacturers. A lot of them are in China, so if you wanted to basically be FBA, like if you wanted to sell something on Amazon and not make it, so you're going to import goods from China and sell it in the United States and have Amazon handle the warehousing and all that stuff, then you would hop on Alibaba. It'd be one of the first things that you do, and you try to find a manufacturer. And so, for example, this company, NutriChamps, if you were to hop on Alibaba and look for super green supplement, you will find this exact bottle with one key difference. You won't see this brand. It'll just be blank, but it'll look the same in every other way. Why? Because in China, there's a company that manufactures this stuff. And then in the United States, there's a company, it's really just a brand, it's nothing else, that's called NutriChamps. And they just have an Amazon account, and they create all the marketing for this exact product. You hop on Amazon, you buy it. What happens is, the company in China ships over a big shipment, and Amazon in the United States has a warehouse, and they just hold it and they wait for you to buy this stuff, in this case me, and then they ship one to you. And we sometimes just believe that because this brand is in the United States that the whole thing is an American company. It's not, okay? And because of this, and this is not just supplements, by the way, millions and millions of products are sold this way. I'm not saying it's immoral in any way. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, because I still buy from them. I like this product. I like the pricing that comes from following that model, and so I buy it, okay? There's nothing inherently wrong unless you happen to be NutriChamps or one of these brands that you're really just a white label brand, okay? And I'll explain why in just a moment. This microphone that I'm using, this lav mic that's plugged into my phone, same thing. Here's the wrapper for it, the lavalier mic. Okay, so these guys, again, are just a white label brand. Someone in China makes this microphone, but there's this American company that markets on Amazon, and so when I hop on Amazon, I see, good English, good grammar, great reviews. They seem to understand my wants and desires as an American consumer, and so I get warm fuzzies and I want to buy from them. Again, there's nothing wrong or immoral about it. I'm just explaining how this works. And if you don't understand how it works and you're involved in those businesses in some way and you don't know the implications that are coming, then you are vulnerable, okay? Let me explain why. Let me just set this down. All right, so in a nutshell, when you look at any kind of changing world order in time, right? So you think about any time that there's been a major shift in economic power, what happens is there's a massive destruction of wealth amidst all the volatility and the uncertainty. And what emerges are lots of people lose, obviously, but there's a few people that are winners. And if you study the difference between the winners and the losers, right, the small group of masters versus the masses that lose, you can see trends. And if we understand those trends and position ourselves in the equivalent today, then we can make sure that we're okay, we're protected. And one of those things is that the successful businesses during those same time periods invested in production. Okay, they weren't about just being a white label. They weren't just a marketer that just grab goods from over here and sold them over there and just being a middleman, right? The real masters were the people that invested in the production and became integrated. So for example, the supplement company would invest in a factory that actually made the supplement, or they invested in research and development so they could continue to pivot and own the actual formulas, right? And it's not just a label anymore, and it's not just marketing anymore. Like, those things are important, like, to be sure, it's important, but like, you can't just own that and think to be successful going forward, right? The model that so many people use to get wealthy in the past 2 decades is not going to be the same model that will generate wealth in the next 2 decades. Okay? Because the next 2 decades, the cycle in the changing world order and the economic scale, the next 2 decades look different. Okay? So you have to follow the playbook that's appropriate for the cycle that we're in. All right, so if you're in FBA, if you sell some kind of product and you are just the label, then now's the time to start thinking strategically and actually own production. All right, so what does this look like? I had a conversation today with a business owner, and they are in the business of making sauces in the food industry, right, and selling sauces. There's a lot of companies that are white label in that space, but they chose to hold on to the formula and the production. Now, because of that, they're not able to grow quite as fast right now, because what investors and venture capitalists and financiers are used to is backing companies that are used to the old successful model, which is, be a white label, pump it, dump it. Okay, so they chose to follow the method of buying production, holding on to a warehouse, holding on to the distribution, which means that they grow a little bit slow and they have to sink their dollars into that investment, which, again, if you're thinking the same in the past 2 decades, that doesn't seem very attractive. But because they did that, when there's a shift in the global world order and there's disruptions in supply chain and it's difficult to find, like, if there's so many middlemen and their costs are just ramping up, they're eating into everyone else's margins, this company is going to be insulated from those effects. And so they have taken this path to invest in real production. All right, and if you look back during the other epochs, the other eras of time where there's a shift in the world order or major volatility in global economics, the ones who win took the time to invest in real production, in research and development, making their products fantastic, investing in distribution that they own, and so choosing to take some of the dollars that were previously spent, like on marketing and on business development, to just on client acquisition, choosing to focus more on the actual products themselves and more on the distribution and more on the manufacturing, and becoming really lean and really efficient and really truly owning supply chain. Okay, so let this be the word of warning to you if you are in those industries, if you're in one of those businesses where you sell a product. And now's the time to start thinking, how can I get integrated, right? If you sell on Etsy and you make something at home, that's great. Is there a way that you can distribute better, right? Is there a way that you can purchase some of the raw supplies or own more of the vertical integration? Whatever it is, spend some time thinking. Okay, and I'm going to drop some more videos that deal with some other changes that are going to impact your business and other types of businesses as we move forward in the changing world order. So make sure you subscribe, click the little bell so that you get some alerts, because they're going to be coming. Okay, and by the way, there's more stories I'm going to share on this exact same topic. So let's get the conversation moving. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the flip side.